Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakadash, and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lash Makadash Lord tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders, Ba'akim Akwaf, I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of prophecy updates as of November the 17th, 2024, on this Sunday afternoon. And as we've been seeing, escalations have been heating up between Russia and Ukraine, because I believe it was a news article that came out earlier today about Russia did their largest drone strikes against Ukraine as of today, because the time zones are kind of different over there in Russia in the comparisons over there in the Western Hemisphere. So, I just want to add a side note to that. But that shows you that the Russia-Ukraine situation has been intensifying ever since then. Because, ever since the war started in February of 2022 all the way until now. So ever since then, escalations have been heating up between the Russia-Ukraine situation, as I add a side note to that. And this is a news article from RT.com as of November 17, 2024, and it says Biden approves Ukrainian strikes deep inside Russia with U.S. missiles. And to keep this in mind, too, you had like last month, I would say like a month and a half ago, you had Vladimir Putin change his nuclear doctrine, to upgrade his nuclear doctrine just in case if there be any non-nuclear states go against Russia and Belarus, the Russian Federation and Belarus as well too, or the U.S.-led bloc, which is NATO, if they face more threats, because Russia has sent that nuclear warning, a war like a World War III type nuclear warning towards the Western countries, towards NATO, towards the United States armies as well too. And Vladimir Putin upgraded his nuclear doctrine as well too. So, that's what. So, I just want to add a side note to that. Now you have this news article right here. It says, as of November 17th, 2024, from the RT.com, and it reads, Biden approves Ukrainian strike deep inside Russia with U.S. missiles. The New York Times reports. It says the report decision by the ongoing American president will signify a major policy change. It says the U.S. President Joe Biden has reportedly authorized Ukraine to use a long-range American missiles to strike inside Russian pre-2014 borders, according to a New York Times report on Sunday, citing anonymous American officials. The decision, if accurate, conveyed by the newspaper, right? Because it makes perfect sense if the news article, if it's true. Because like it says in the book of Matthew, Matthew 24, verse 6, you should hear wars and rumors of wars. So this is a rumor of war right here. If this news article is true, it says the decision, if accurately conveyed by the newspaper, marks a major shift in Washington's policy and will raise the stakes of the ongoing conflict between Moscow and Kyiv. It says the White House has not yet commented publicly on the matter. It says the report states that the Ukraine is expected to deploy the armored tactical missile systems. It says the ATACMS against Russia and the alleged North Korean troops in Russia's Kursk region, where the fierce fighting is ongoing. The supposed presence of North Korean forces have been used as part of the justification for the policy change, though there is no verified proof of Pyongyang troops operating in Russia. The ATACMS missiles can be fired from the HIMARS launchers, which Ukraine has its arsenal since 2022. The forces have had the ATACMS missiles since April, but have until now been limited using them on the land, considering Ukraine by Washington's missiles travel at supersonic speed at a range of 300 kilometers, 190 miles. The move is a significant escalation and may provoke a direct response from Moscow. It says the report notes Russia President Vladimir Putin has reportedly warned that any attacks on Russian international recognized territory will American supply weaponry will be viewed as a NATO entering the conflict directly. Such actions, he suggested, could lead to severe repercussions, including retaliations against the Western interests. The report U.S. policy shift has divided Biden's advisors. The newspapers claim, while some argue the change is necessary to counter Moscow's supposed military moves, other fears it could further escalate tensions at a risk of border conflict. Supporters of the army Ukrainian more aggressively believes that previously hesitations by the U.S. has emboldened Moscow, while critics warn of a potential Russian retaliation against Americans and Russia European assets. It says the Times reported also that while the Ukrainian military may first target Russia and alleged North Korean troops incursion, these strikes could potentially expand to other regions. The long range capabilities of the ATACMS would allow Ukraine to strike deep into Russian territory, potentially disrupting supply lines and troop concentrations. Current desires for long-range capability has been long-standing request, with Biden's reported authorization, and geopolitical dynamics of the conflict could now shift dramatically. And this is the book of Matthew 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? Russia versus Ukraine. Now, if that news article is true about Biden authorized an approval for Ukraine to use long-range missiles to strike deeper into the Russian region, so that's only going to stir up more tensions between Russia and NATO, right along with the United States and Russia as well too, while the Russia-Ukraine situation is ongoing, which is intensifying according to the news article from RT.com from the New York Times. So if that news article is true, and if it's accurate, that's a sign of wars and rumors of wars. Matthew 24 verse 6 for nation. I meant to say Matthew 24 verse 6. It says, "Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet." Matthew 24 verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, right? Different nations going against one another, especially armies of nations, different ethnicity groups of armies clashing against one another. That leads into nuclear escalations, which we're seeing right now. For nation shall rise against nation, right? Russia versus Ukraine. For NATO versus NATO. NATO versus Russia. Belarus and Russia together going against NATO. It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Now, it says Zelensky were asked to report lifting of U.S. restrictions on long-range missiles. The missiles will speak for themselves, he said, about the strikes on Russian soil. It says Moscow commented on Biden's reported approval of the strike deep inside Russia. It says Russia confirms large-scale strikes on Ukraine. And this is another Wars and Rumors of Wars article, November 17, 2024, and it reads, Russia confirmed large-scale strikes on Ukraine, the MOD reports. They attacked target energy infrastructures and facilities supporting Kyiv military, the defense ministry has said. Moscow has confirmed it conducted a large-scale strikes on Ukraine overnight, targeting critical energies and military industrial infrastructures. The Russian Defense Ministry issued a statement on Sunday detailing the operations utilize a long-range air and sea-based weapons as well as drones. The strike target critical energy infrastructure supporting the works of Ukraine defense industrial complex as well as the plants producing military equipment. The military stated, adding, all designs targets have been hit. Further specified on the instant of the damage has not been provided. Earlier, Ukraine media officials had reported a wave of attacks across various regions, prompting the national power company to impose emergency blackouts. Ukraine leader Vladimir Zelensky described the scale of the booming, claiming that it involved 120 missiles, including hypersonic ones and 90 drones, Zelensky asserted. Without providing any evidence, the Ukraine air defense intercepted more than 140 more incoming targets, but acknowledged that the sky's damage was severe facilities in Nikolagveki, if I pronounced the name right. Local officials reported two fatalities and six injured. Damage to energy infrastructures was noted in Volyn region, resulting in power outages in Porazia region and disruptions to water service in Odessa. Explosions were heard. It says explosions were also reported in Vistizia in Lavi region. Tehran warned it could expand nuclear program. This is from November 17, 2024, and it reads, Tehran warned it could expand nuclear program. The move could come if the IEA passed a new anti-Iranian resolutions, the country foreign minister has said. It says Iran could expand its nuclear program if the International Atomic Energy Agency's IAEA passes a resolution critical of the country's foreign minister Abbas Agraksky warned on Saturday in an interview broadcast on Iran TV state. On Iranian state TV. He said Tehran was willing to cooperate with the UN atomic watchdog and resolve doubts about the nuclear program, but of its the agencies abstained from political pressure. Agraski spoke ahead of the IEA's 35th Nation Board of Governors meeting scheduled for next week. Several board members, including France, the UK, Germany, reportedly have been advocating for a new resolutions aimed at increasing monitoring of Iran's nuclear sites. Their goal is to compel Tehran to accept new restrictions on its nuclear activities, as reported by Reuters earlier this week, citing diplomatic sources. However, Tehran has repeatedly said it will not cooperate under pressure. Our behavior towards the IEA is completely professional. The agency is a technical body and should fulfill the duties in a technical field. It does not have the right to enter politics, the minister said in a interview. If a resolution passed against us, it will face a reciprocal actions by Iran. We will take new measures in our nuclear program that they will certainly not. He stated, adding that Tehran is ready for both confrontation and cooperations, depending on the IEA's actions. Araski said that to convey this stance of the IDA Director General Rafael Grosky during the latter's visit to the Islamic Republic earlier this week. It says Iran's uranium enrichment activities have long been perceived by the West as a clandestine attempt to develop atomic weapons. Despite Tehran's persistent denials, the 2015 nuclear agreement between Iran and world powers put limit on the country's nuclear program in exchange for significant sanctions relief. However, that deal collapsed after the U.S. withdrawal from its 2018. Iran since stepped up its enrichment capabilities. Efforts to revive the deal so far failed. According to Agrosky, Tehran is ready to renegotiate the 2015 agreement, but only if the West is willing to base a new deal on mutual beneficiary terms. It says following his visit to Tehran, Grosky said Iran's enrichment capabilities are now close to the threshold, requiring a weaponization. He called both Iran and the world powers to speed up talks on the country's nuclear program, declaring that current regional tensions in the Middle East shows that the space for negotiation and diplomacy is getting smaller. The IEA chief warned against attacks on Iranian nuclear installations, however, noting that they could have dire radiological consequences for the entire region. And this is the prophet Joel. Yep, prophet Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares and swords and pointy hooks and the spears and let the weak say I'm strong. Right, so if Iran be provoked by the IEA, so they have no choice but to continue to build up their nuclear program to enrich more of their nuclear capabilities. And that's a sign of let the weak say I'm strong of the nations building up their nuclear capability. Iran is one prime example, just like I read that news article. North Korea, another prime example, building up their nuclear capability. Because Iran and North Korea has something in common because they dealing with economic sanctions from these Western countries. So that's going to continue building up their nuclear capability, you know. Joel chapter 3 and verse 9, proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, as we see in the ongoing tensions are heating up over there in the Middle East, which is Western Asia. You know, Iran versus the Israel Defense Force, the IAF, which is backed by Israelis, going against the pro-Iranian groups throughout Iraq, throughout Syria, throughout Lebanon, you know, throughout the whole region, throughout the Red Sea, throughout the Arabian Sea, throughout the whole region. Those are signs of wars, rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And we're seeing the Heavenly Father's waking up the mighty men of these armies of nations. And let the weak say I'm strong. That's what we're seeing. And definitely for sure, Iran versus Israel with the main focus over there in the Middle East of Iran versus the Israel Defense Force. And then you got the Russian armies over there in Syria. Then you got the Syrian armies. You got the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. And you got the Dragons of Arabia. You know, they all teaming up together going against the Israel Defense Force. And that definitely goes into that Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, you know, while Russia is facing an ongoing intensifying war with the Russia-Ukraine situation. Then you got Russia over there in Syria as well, too, facing that as well, too. So Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, the verse 39, that's heating up. And the Joel, the 3rd chapter, that's heating up as well, too. And that goes into, you know, the wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. The second woe passed. Behold, the third woe coming quickly, which is World War III, which we're seeing building up and increasing signs of that, you know. Now back to the news articles. So, yep, as it says again, Tehran warns it could expand its nuclear program. It says the move could come if the IEA passes a new anti-Iran resolutions, the country foreign minister has said. Right, that's another sign of wars and rumors of wars. And let the weak say I'm strong. Especially the tensions of Iran versus the Israel Defense Force been heating up ever since then over there in Western Asia. Check the Arab news. It says Lebanon says Israeli strikes on central Beirut kills two as of November 17th, 2024. It says Lebanese army says Israeli attacks kills two soldiers. It says a roadside bomb kills three soldiers in northern Iraq. It says Gaza civil defense says 34 dead in an Israeli airstrike. It says Israeli military reports soldier killed in a battle north of Gaza on Saturday. It says UK doubles aid to war-torn Sudan. Go to some more news articles. And go to the time of Israel. It says Hezbollah propaganda chief killed. Yep, it says Hezbollah propaganda chief killed in a Beirut airstrike. Israel conforms. It says Lebanese reports claim ceasefire proposal revival positive, plus two soldiers killed in Gaza. Groups fired rockets at North Orthodox blocks highways to protest draft. It says rocket alert sounds North Galilee. It says drone alert sounds and elite interceptors appears to fail. IDF confirms killing of media chief in Beirut strike involved a psychological uh, terror. Go to another website once again. Check the news now. It says Russia targets Ukraine's energy infrastructure with large-scale missiles and drone attack, which I previously covered already. That's from PBS Online 4 hours ago. It says Asia Pacific summit closes in Peru with China's Xi Jinping front and center as Trump whiplash looms. It says typhoon lashes in the Philippines deploying hundreds of thousands. Biden to allow Ukraine to use long-range U.S. missiles in Russia, sources say from ABC News 2 hours ago. It says Kim Jong-un blasts U.S. support for Ukraine at a major army conference. to Jerusalem. I mean, yeah.